What's going on, guys? It's Awesome here again, giving you guys my review of the Uncharted 4 single player story. I'm going to be telling you guys what I think of it. I'm going to do story details. I'm going to be trying to stay mostly spoiler free for this video. I might do a video later on. Talk about spoilers and things like that for this game. But as for right now, this is going to be mostly spoiler free. Though, however, I do warn you, some of the footage I might be showing you might be a tidbit spoilery. Some of you guys might consider it a little bit spoilery, but most of the footage I'm going to be showing is going to be of various action sequences, mostly just action, just because that's what I like showing in my Uncharted videos. But anyways, so to get started, for those of you that still don't know, this game is basically about, this game takes place about 3 years after the events of Uncharted 3. Nathan Drake has retired from fortune hunting and is living with his wife Elena, a TV journalist. And he's pulled back into the world of fortune hunting when his long-believed to be dead brother Sam shows up seeking his help. And that's really all I'm going to get into, just because, I don't want to spoil anything for those of you that haven't played this game yet. This game's been out for about a week as of me recording this video. The game has been out for about a week, so a lot of you guys probably know this stuff already. Probably a lot of you guys, probably like me, and probably have already beaten the game. So there's that. As for gameplay, the action, in my opinion, is much improved over the previous Uncharted's. The action is probably mostly the best out of probably the entire series. I love the action. It's just the combat sequences and the combat controls and like the feel of the combat just feels. There's just something about it that's just so good. And it's really smooth. Even when the single player runs at 30 frames per second, even though it runs at a slower 30 frames per second, the game still feels really good, both in combat and when you're not in combat. Even when you're just running around exploring the environment, it still feels really good. And the game looks really good too. This is probably the best looking game I've probably ever played on a console. This game is just looks fucking amazing. Just look at it. These graphics are without a doubt some of the best graphics I've ever seen on a console. I'm sure if you play on PC, if you play any games on PC, I'm sure there are games that might look better on PC, but going just by console standards, this game is without a doubt the best looking game I've probably ever played on a console. I think the only other game that I can think of at the moment that may look better or just as good is Star Wars Battlefront. But that uses photogrammetry and things like that. I'm not sure if this uses photogrammetry or not, but god damn does this game look good. Now the platforming. I talked about the shooting and stuff. Now let's get into the platforming. The platforming is basically the same it's ever been. The only thing new you get as far as the platforming goes is you get this grappling hook, which is really useful because you can use it to swing from ledges. You can use it to pull down things. You can even use it in some of the puzzle solving in this game. Overall, it's just really useful, and it's an excellent addition to the game, and I really can't think of a bad thing to say about it, just because it's just a great addition to the series. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the grappling hook, and it's really fun. It's really fun to use too. In multiplayer, you can actually use it to take down enemies in multiplayer, but I'm not really going to get into that because it's not about the multiplayer. Now the puzzles. The puzzles in this game, I kind of feel like there's a little bit less of them than there was in the previous games, but I still like them about as much, just because, honestly, some of you might disagree with me on this, but puzzles have always, in my opinion, been my least favorite element of the Uncharted series. Same thing here. The puzzle. Well, it is. Well, they are kind of fun. Well, they are kind of fun. In the Uncharted, whenever I get to a puzzle section, I just groan and immediately go look on my iPad to figure out how to do it, to figure out like what the solution is and things like that. Even though the journal can kind of give you the solution, which there's a few puzzles where the solution is pretty obvious, but honestly, I've never been all that big of a fan of the Uncharted puzzles. And here in Uncharted 4, it's no different. I'm not saying the puzzles are bad, it's just I am personally not a big fan of the puzzles. I'm personally not a big fan of the puzzles. They kind of just slow the game down. In my opinion, puzzles in Uncharted 4 at least just kind of slow the game down. They just kind of slow the pacing down, in my opinion. Yeah, they're pretty intricate, and they might have some pretty good dialogue. It might cause some pretty good dialogue with your characters, but yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the puzzles. You guys get my point. I'm just not a big fan of the puzzles, and the Uncharted series as a whole. In previous games and in Uncharted 4, whenever I got to a puzzle section, I groaned. But here in Uncharted 4, thank God for the internet, because without the internet, I probably wouldn't have beaten Uncharted 4. At least as of this moment, I probably still would have. It would have just taken me longer, but whatever. And now on that note, there are, as far as some flaws with this game, there really aren't that many. But sometimes there are a couple times. This is a kind of a nitpick, but it's something I want to bring up. There are some times in this game, there are some of those "where do I go" moments. There's only like 2 or 3 of them in the entire game, but they can really catch you off. They can really catch you off guard sometimes, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. What else do I want to cover? Something I really like about Uncharted 4 is going back to the whole story thing. Is the villains Rafe and Nadine are, Rafe, in my opinion, is probably my new favorite villain of the Uncharted series. I really like him as a villain. He seems like the perfect kind of villain for a game like this, for a treasure hunting game like this. He's a guy who obviously wants the same treasure Nate and Sam are after. But he's a little bit more complex than that. There are a few things that you see him doing throughout the game that kind of read a little bit more about him. But well, I'm not really gonna say much because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I'm not gonna say much about that because I don't want to spoil anything. So as far as set pieces go, there aren't that many. This game has a lot more smaller set pieces than there are bigger set pieces. Like in Uncharted 3, for example, there were a lot of big set pieces, like the sinking ship scene and the whole scene with the cargo plane and things like that. In Uncharted 2, there's also the derailed train in Uncharted 2. In the previous Uncharted games, there were a lot of really big set pieces. In Uncharted 4, there's really not all that many big set pieces. A lot of the set pieces are really small-scale set pieces. Like, there's this one scene in Madagascar where your car is, like, hanging from a cliff, and you have to, like, get it back, and Nate has to, like, get the car up the cliff, which is actually really cool. It's pretty tense, too. Imagine being in a fucking Jeep, overhanging the side of a cliff in frickin' Madagascar. Dear God, that sounds scary. It kind of looks scary when you actually see that set piece in this game. It's like in the first part of it's like in the first Madagascar section, but it's a pretty cool set piece. There's also some pretty cool ones, but for the most part, a lot of them are pretty small scale compared to the ones in previous Uncharted's. And what else do I want to say about that? What else do I want to say? As far as it being, without giving too much away, as far as it being a finale to the Uncharted series, it does its job perfectly, in my opinion. It gives us more Uncharted, but the ending of the game is satisfying, without giving anything away. But at the ending, in the epilogue at least, they do kind of leave it open for potential sequels. If that meant they leave it open, but they don't leave it open at the same time. If that makes any sense at all, I'm not even sure if that makes any sense at all. But that's kind of what they do. They leave it open for sequels without actually leaving it open for sequels. I'll probably get more into that in a future video discussing like spoiler elements of this game. I might do that later this week, or I might do that, or I might never do that at all. I'm not sure. Not sure if I'm going to do that video, but I might. We'll see about that. And yeah, pretty much covered all I really need to cover. Oh yeah, the stealth in this game. Going back to the little combat thing, the stealth in this game doesn't work as well as I thought it would. Or maybe that's just me and I'm terrible. I'm personally terrible at stealth. So maybe that's just coming from a guy who's terrible at stealth. But in my opinion, the stealth could be better. But again, that's coming from a guy who's awful at stealth games. So there are a lot of really good guns in this game too, like the M14, the AK-47, the FAL, which I'm glad is back, and a bunch of others. But I'm not gonna get into that. But there's a lot of really cool weapons in this game. Anyways, guys, that's about it. For this video. Pretty much covered all I need to cover about Uncharted 4: Thief's End. Overall, this is probably this is the perfect finale to the Uncharted series. All the 9s and 10s out of 10s that this game has been getting is absolutely deserved. This game is fucking amazing, and I can't wait to play through it again. This game is fucking amazing. What are you guys waiting for? Go out and buy this game. For God's sake, just go out and buy this game already. This game's fucking amazing. Go out and buy this game already. As far as the multiplayer goes, I'm not going to reveal the multiplayer, mainly because that beta review video I did back when the beta was out, back in like March, I think. That's pretty much the multiplayer, and I really don't have anything new to say about it. So if you want to see my multiplayer review, I guess go watch that beta video I did, that beta review video I did. But other than that, guys, just go buy this fucking game already. Like I said, this game is fucking amazing. If you're a fan of video games, in general, go out and buy this game already. What are you waiting for? So, anyways, guys, that's about it for this video. Please like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Please tell me what you think of the Uncharted 4 story. And feel free to, you know what, if you guys spoil this game in the comments, I won't give a shit. I personally won't give a shit. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have probably beaten this game already, so I'm pretty sure spoilers aren't that big of a deal. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been spoiling the game already, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyways, guys, please like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you guys.